You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You are on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome as a part of Silver Jubilee celebration of our college. On behalf of our management and principal, we, the Department of English, has clubbed all of us for the national level webinar on literary and artistic creation. I would like to invite the head of the department, Mr. J. Sadhu Sundar Singh, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very proud and pleased to welcome you all for the webinar on literary and artistic creation. In Silver Jubilee celebration of our KR College of Arts and Science. First of all, I will extend my gratitude to our management for the official of the academy. First, I welcome our dynamic principal of our college. I welcome you, sir, for your valuable guidance to conduct the webinar. Then I welcome today's chief guest, Dr. VASANTHAN, Associate Professor and HOD, Department of English, National College, Trichy. He's a great scholar and a great man. He is the great personality in the field of literature. Welcome you, sir. Then I welcome the HODs of various departments of our college and the staff members from our and other departments. Then I welcome the faculty members from all colleges, academicians, scholars, students, and all other members for your valuable presence in this program. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to request our principal, Dr. S. Mathivannan, to deliver the presidential address.
Nandini ma'am, what's going on there? Nandini ma'am?
Hi, sir.
Just inform principal.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hello.
Okay,
Hello,
sir. Audible, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, warm greetings and pleasant morning to one and all gathered here in this webinar. Upon the subject of education, I can only say that I view it is the most important subject which we as people may be engaged in. I am glad and feel pride to felicitate the one-day virtual national webinar on literary and artistic creation organized by the Department of English, specifically in this Silver Jubilee year of our college. Since 1997, our college has earned considerable appreciation for imparting the ideals of academic and non-academic activities, sense of discipline, high moral and ethical values. We stand high for the best of academics and for the unending pursuit of excellence in higher education for the students, particularly from rural areas. The English department of our college was started in the year 2016. The main objective of our English department was to develop a positive attitude towards learning English and to attain language competence with linguistic skill which enables the students to be aware of economical, cultural and social issues in the society in order to contribute in rendering solution. It is remarkable as this wonderful program is arranged in our Silver Jubilee year. I take it as my great privilege in introducing the resource person, Dr. VASANTHAN R. from National College, Trichy. I understood from his profile and came to know from the words of the faculty members from English department of our college, he is a skilled and qualified language professor with more than 17 years of teaching experience, specialized in implementing and developing educational tools and methods in English language, teaching for school and college classrooms, contributor of the concept of regular games-assisted language teaching to the world of research in ELT, comfortable with all teaching environments and with a track record of research success with multiple publications and recognized a research supervisor of Bharatidasan University. English is being the language of international communication, so studying the language of English helps progress in life both on personal and professional level. English has been an inevitable requirement for various fields and professions ranging from business to entertainment. So I definitely believe that this webinar is certain to be a platform in enriching and upskilling our students' language skill and career opportunities. I take this opportunity to welcome and thank the resource person, Dr. VASANTHAN, who has accepted our invitation in spite of his busiest schedule in sharing his knowledge and research experience in language English. It is my earnest responsibility in thanking the resource person, Dr. VASANTHAN, for extending his benevolent support to our college, and I presume that the same support in the upcoming years also. In this auspicious occasion, let me congratulate the young dynamic team members of English of our college for organizing such a wonderful program to upskill our students and the students of various other educational institutions to walk high with confidence and excellence. I would like to conclude by wishing you all success in all your endeavors. Forge ahead and may wisdom be your companion. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. A kind invitation to the participants. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to the resource person by typing your questions in the chat box. You may send your questions at any time during the webinar. We will collect those and address them during the question and answer section at the end of today's webinar. Now, I would like to invite Mrs. M. Selvi to deliver the introductory speech about our resource person, Dr. R. VASANTHAN, Associate Professor, Head of the Department, National College, Trichy.
Good morning to one and all gathered here. It's my pleasure to introduce you our respected resource person, Dr. VASANTHAN R., who is an Associate Professor and Head of the Department of English, National College, Tiruchirappalli. He is a member of Department Research Committee and a recognized research supervisor of Bharatidasan University. He is also a member of the college IQAC. He holds 5 years of experience in Jaipur Institute of Technology, Chennai, as associate professor and head of science and humanities. He is an experienced placement trainer and has designed and developed programs for communication and soft skills development. He is a coordinator for BEC exams and the chief editor of the Department of Newsletter. He has been an assistant professor and head in Jairam College of Engineering and Technology, Tiruchirappalli. He has conducted and participated various seminars and conferences. Dr. Vasanthan is experienced as an assistant professor and head in MAM College of Engineering. He took the responsibility of the Fine Arts Club NSS camp officer in all MAM colleges. He was also trained the NSS volunteers of the South Zone in the pre-Republic day. He worked for St. Joseph's College, Nagaland as a lecturer and head. He has completed the Research and Rescue course in National Civil Defense College. He has published enormous papers and attended many and presented in international journals. He has participated in many international conferences. Dr. Vasanthan was awarded from the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. He has received an award of appreciation from the Research Department of Physical Education and Sports Sciences, National College. He also awarded by the Tiruchirappalli City Corporation Commissioner and awarded by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. He has received 6 awards for achieving maximum pass percentage in technical English. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our chief guest, Dr. R. Vasanthan, to express his views on literary and artistic creation.
Very good morning to Dr. S. Mathivannan, Principal, Head of the Department, faculty members, student friends, and all the participants from other colleges as well. It's a wonderful occasion that I meet you all today. I wanted to share with you all something what is very close to my heart, that is creating literary creations. I believe my voice is I'm audible. Is it clear? If there is any disturbance, let us sort it out right at the beginning.
No, sir, audible.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me first tell you, it's a wonderful, it's nice to listen to the history through the short introduction given by one of our faculty members today. Yes, I started working actually this resume was, the curriculum vitae was prepared some 3-4 years before, I believe. So I actually have 20 years plus experience now. Yes, I have given all that what people want in a resume there. And in our resumes or in our curriculum vitae, we give actually what the world expects. And our classroom teaching and everything is also according to what the world expects. But today I'm going to take you to the other side of a language classroom. Okay? Honestly, today if we see English language is being taught at various levels. English language starts almost from class 1, I believe, with simple alphabet writings, and then it gradually proceeds to class 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when I ask my son, he will also tell me that, yes, daddy, he speaks English well, but he has to go for language classroom and he gets trouble there at most of the occasions. Like what? A class 4 student, he's asking types of nouns, verbs, adjectives, pronouns, conjunctions. Daddy, what are these? He will ask. Yes, there are so many things that we have. He is perfectly okay when it comes to making sentences, but when it goes to learning, he feels little difficult because at that level we are into a little bit of structural elements involved there. We more worry about the structure, understanding, and then communicating within a particular setup. And practically, from my experience, I would like to tell you that there is no big difference between our language that we are learning in class 5, 6, and that we are learning at the college level. I'm sorry, this is a very important thing. I have done thorough research on this one. There is no clear demarcation between the levels of learning and learning outcomes between school level and college level. Perhaps we become more aware of these functional skills and ability to communicate with people, convince people, or persuade people only when it comes to placements. Only when we think of placing the students in any of the institutions or in MNCs, we think about the outcomes of language, like the command of the language, what the children will be able to do with the language, the knowledge that they have got in the target language, the knowledge that they have got. So these are the few things that will worry anybody for that matter. So let me give you a simple presentation. I do not have an elaborate presentation. Okay, I have a very simple presentation with a slide with few slides in which I am going to actually tell what should be actually happening in a language classroom and a literature classroom, and what we generally assume things are. Okay, there may be a lot of worry. There may be a lot of questions coming. That you will have after that. As one of our faculty members told you, you could just leave those questions. Leave those questions in the chat box. Okay, you could do that one. And once I complete it, I will get back to you and I will answer you one by one, so that we can save a lot of time. Right? Let me just present. I have a very simple presentation here. Okay, so that should be right. Okay. Okay. Right. So this is a different, this is today's, occasion, and I have made that first slide, just to give the complete picture of what we are about to do. Now, we are all students of literature. We learn language at occasions, we learn about dramas and plays at occasions, but what we just yes, please. Yeah. So literary and artistic creations. What do we do in classrooms? Actually, what do we? We are all literature students. We have plenty of things to be done in a classroom. We are very busy. Okay. The first thing what we want classrooms for is learning grammar. As I told you, learning grammar is happening since your since you are 6 or 7 years old. Okay. Then we have in the class later on, as we learn grammar, make sentences, and we go with small stories, and we read the stories sometimes, and people ask us questions, read poems, read novels, act out dramas. And later on, at the higher classes level, we do also get to know about some critical elements. But my simple question is that, do we do something on our own? Do we do something on our own? Is there anything measured beyond this? For example, if a civil engineer studies and he comes out of the institution with a degree, he is supposed to do something with the skills that he has learned. he is supposed to actually construct something or design something, use his ability on that. What about us? We, students of English literature, we proudly call ourselves, and everybody learns grammar. Go to computer science, he will tell you exactly what is a sentence structure, how active becomes passive, passive becomes active, what is direct, what is indirect, here, what is reported speech, what are soft skills, what is a group discussion, how to carry ourselves. He's also been trained with all those stuff. And of course, in part 2 English, we give him poems, we give him novels, and he reads short stories. At occasions, he is also asked to act out dramas. I do not know whether we are indeed acting out dramas. I have not heard like people reading dramas, that's what we see here. But those days, maybe 15 or 20 years before, dramas, English literature cannot be imagined without dramas. And acting out on stage was one of those essential things that we must be doing. Otherwise, we never consider this particular course to be fruitful. Right, let me come back to that one later. Okay, so just let us go, and I'm trying to wait. I'm just trying to, okay. We have seen this one. What do we do in classrooms? Next. Okay, like if you, let us go little deep inside. I have taken this program objectives from my PG classroom. Okay, PG class syllabus. So they are supposed to demonstrate an advanced knowledge of the subject, including knowledge of literary history, genre, criticism, literary theory, critical theory, research methodology. These are all inside the, it is inside the syllabus. That's good, cool. Now, what do we care more about here is advanced knowledge of the subject. What is it? Advanced knowledge of the subject. Remember that one. Next one, exhibit knowledge of journalism, mass communication writing. Next, exhibit knowledge, advanced knowledge, use communication skills. That comes from the grammar and other parts. Okay. Respond to literature aesthetically and critically as informed readers. So what are we? You have to respond to literature aesthetically. Aesthetic means with some knowledge of that pleasurable, pleasure-giving elements in work of art. Right. Critically and informed readers. Appreciate and analyze gender relations and gender-oriented writing. So analyze gender, appreciate, analyze, evaluate, and judge works available in translation. So you are going to evaluate. Okay. Apply linguistic theories in teaching of English depending on the learner's needs. I do not know how far it is feasible, because in a particular classroom with a particular syllabus, how will you be able to know about the learning needs of the imaginary people whom you are going to teach with an abstract, situation of a classroom. So what I mean to say is, from here on you get to understand that knowledge, understanding of the things are given importance. But what about the other most important part? How will he or she be able to do something on his own? What should he be doing and what is not being done? Right. It is important. Okay, is it not possible for the kid in the school or in the college to write a short poem by himself? Or is it not possible for him to write a small piece of work, a novelette or a novel? Or at least is he not capable of writing a short story? Most importantly, if he has the ability to act out creative, or even if he could write his own dramas, what kind of opportunities that we are giving to that particular individual? Learn about criticism. Yes, criticism is also creative aspect today, because criticism is not simply about giving such opinions about particular work of art, it is also going into the philosophical aspects of the writing, or critic himself going and unearthing things that even the author was unaware while he was composing or creating. So do we create? That is the big question here. Okay, why should we create? And who is there to create? Okay, and even if I create, who is going to respect me? I believe you understand. We, the students of English literature, are not mere people who read poems and tell the meaning of the poems. That is happening in class 6, class 7, class 8, and at the college level also. If you do that, you have not realized what literature is. And what about novels? Yes, Tamosati. Charles Dickens. And latest novels that we have, yes, we read, but passing time, yes, anybody reads in the railway station. And what about us? We should be thinking of writing if that comes. It is not possible for Shakespeare to make a novelist out of Shakespeare. It is not possible to make a dramatist out of Charles Dickens. Yes, of course, even if you try, he is not going to be that successful as Shakespeare. But each and every one of us inside will have some enthusiasm, will have some spirit, will be talking to ourselves. Because reading these poems, reading these novels, and reading them better than normal human beings will make us, or must make us, somebody with some kind of message bubbling within us to express to the world, that will give joy to us and happiness to them as well. If that element is not residing inside a literature student, if he revolves around the same method of, with the same requirement of knowing about the date of birth of Shakespeare and death of Shakespeare, works of names and works of other works, what's the use? That's what the world needs. That's what we hear net and set. People go, name of the work, character of the work. Yes, broad knowledge is important. But what about, should not our classrooms give poets? Should not our classrooms give novelists? Those are the best productivity that we can expect from a literature classroom. What is happening today? The syllabus is there, American. So they will give you poetry, Chaucer, Nun's Priest's Tale. Then you come to know all about poetry. How is it even possible? How can we do that one? How to instill that poetic spirit or ability to express the plot that one has within in the form of a story or act out. These are the celebrations that should be happening in a literary classroom. And without these things, we have managed today, it's not only my college or your college or any, it is the fate, right? It is how the scholars may come to department, but creative artists should be invited to the department also. That makes a lot of contribution. Like, I hope you will understand. Okay, and I believe, let me take you to. So why do we need to create? So why, sir, we are learning, sir, we are understanding, we are able to communicate, sir, we are able to answer the questions, sir, we understand the Shakespeare's play well, sir, I can write about all the characters, I can analyze it. Yes, that is great, good. But even then, it will not proceed to the higher level where we call like synthesis and creation or evaluation. Even we have managed to put there as evaluation. But if I remove the name of the author and give people two different poems, they will not be able to, even 90% of the people will suffer to find out real artistic ability or the beauty in the works. That is how we are today. So let us not be pessimistic, let us go into optimistic more and think, why do we actually create? Right? Why do we need to create? Language improves with creativity. Okay, your language cannot be something without creativity. Right? I remember one day meeting my late professor Eugene Devas, a painter and a creative artist whom in our classroom, when he speaks, he teaches poetry through painting. Poetry cannot be taught, of course. He makes us feel it by presenting the picture of it on the board with a chalk and with his own explanations. He called me and he told me to go and watch a movie. The name of the movie is Gladiator, that came before 20 years, I believe. So you can imagine. I've watched that movie, and when I came back and I met him after the next day, he told me, "Did you watch the movie? What did you learn?" And I told him, "My faults as a student is your failure as a teacher." So such friendly were we, and I was able to. But actually, the dialogue was not so in the movie. If you watch that movie, maybe in the first half an hour of the movie, you will find that the son, Commodus, will be smothering his father to get into the palace to cover the throne. So when he was about to kill him, he will say that. No, when he was about, even before he was about to kill, the father will say this: my son, your faults as a son is my failure as a father." I just listened to this one and I changed it and went to him and told him that my faults as a student is your failure as a teacher. And I laughed and sorry, sir, just kidding. This was one dialogue, I loved it. Do you understand? This is one small flash of creativity that we can. I don't want to say about others. I don't want to bring the presence of mind of Swami Vivekananda, presence of mind, or the creativity of Annadurai or anybody for that matter. I just want to give you some examples with my own life. Okay. So next, creativity takes you to the highest point of language mastery. People can tell, oh, his language is good, her language is good. Yes, your language is good, but whose language, right? Instead of working on becoming a better one with communication, go to the mastery of language, go to become master of it. How? Just think that you will be able to create. That ability to write something, just one flash I gave you is one creativity, a small creativity. You could even do more than that. So let me actually narrate a story to you. Right? And the story with a small plot. Okay, let me try writing it. And you write it. See whether it gives the same effect to people. When people are not moved because of your construction, it says automatically that it could be more effective. And once again, you try it. So start doing at class 6, 7, 8. You will get to improve. When it comes to college level, also you could. Those who have not started till, you could. Do it and share it. And you will, when people, through the honest reflections of the people, expressions of the people, you will know that how good are you and how you are going ahead. Creative sharing among the children refines the atmosphere. Once you start sharing it in the classroom, and when there is an atmosphere in the classroom, or if it's not possible within your classroom, you find a WhatsApp group also, where people really like you, not for the dress you wear, not for the makeup that you have put on, or not for the bike that you have, right? For the creativity. Someone does it. If you find that particular group, if you can bring this, that is one refined group where people will learn to appreciate things. Appreciating today, the honest way, we want to be all appreciated for the way we look, the face, the profile picture. This one. Yes, we all want to be appreciated. There's no question about it. All of us should present ourselves beautiful, We should look beautiful in the picture. We should look beautiful in our approach, in our dress. Yes. Okay. Yes. Our life, our yes, of course, our life is about. Um, Life is precious, and we want it to be beautiful, and we want ourselves to be we want things around us to be beautiful, and we need to be clean. We need to be presentable all the time. There is no question about it. But along with this normal presentations, there is something what we actually value in a human being. Every man, every woman has a face. Everyone has a complexion. Everyone has got a particular figure. All these things are natural, but there are also other natural things that need to also be presented out, like you present your dress, your creativity, your ability, your ideas to the world, your thoughts, your aspirations. All these things also have to be presented like that of your profile picture, like that of your dress. And if you think that you do not have, that's a big, if you think that you do not have within you that, that's a very big mistake, right? It is not that nobody, like just like that, all of us have got different faces, all of us have got different talents also, and all of us got different languages, and all of our languages have different spirit, and all that spirit that we have is important to the world. So especially people who have come into English department should have this as the highest goal, if not the least, as the highest goal, right? Because it is a mountain. Like we will try to climb it up as much as possible, as far as realistically possible, and let's be happy about the destination that we have achieved on the way, right? Most importantly, it makes the individuals to think more about cultural and psychological elements. Only because of that kind of spirit, that kind of thinking, we will start even questioning the basics, like being corrupt, being sincere, being patriotic, being empathetic, being sincere, being a man of or a woman of self-respect. All those things we will start thinking, and these are all something that normal people will not have time to even think about. And it is our duty as the students of literature to go inside, probe these things, express these things, and help them to realize what they have missed in their busy schedule. Our literature classrooms should combine language and literature, and creations should be multi-dimensional and variety, anything. It could even include posters, it could even include memes, it could be anything of that side, the kind, but you need the medium to express the message, because with the right medium, the message gets proper recognition. And all our works are only that. Is that clear? Children understand more than the surface meaning and more than ordinary human beings. So words and language will get more meaning than, if actually when we begin to grow, when we begin to work, when we express things, we will realize that there is plenty with regard to sentences. There is a lot inside hidden in the simple words, and most importantly, we will feel that our understanding, our knowledge, our ideas, the way we see the world is completely different from the way the normal human beings see the world. This is how the spirit of a student of the Department of English should be, and the view of a student should be, and the aspiration of a student should be. Right? Now think about this one: being good at communication, be eligible for a job, being able to talk to others, convince others. This is what we want, right? Those will think very normal. We will feel that these simple things, what we think, that appreciating, analyzing, or expressing our knowledge will look very ordinary when we have reached this particular point and when we are operating in this particular mode. And that kind of mentality is we should be creating at the college level. Is that clear, gentlemen? So these are the importance of, I did not take these things from anywhere, all these things I just sat and wrote today in the morning. So no references, all are mine. Okay, so next, here, how do we do that? So yes sir, that is all fine sir, but where do we start sir? As I told you, start imitating. I imitated a sentence in a movie and I enjoyed it. Every creativity, and it starts with that one. So how could we deliberately imitate? Yes, sometimes it happens. We imitate, we do punch dialogues, we imitate what? Our Kodambakam people. We are very happy about it. It is because what? Our Kodambakam is full of people with different views, with different attitude, and then they have followers, and the followers go around, right? Just imagine, we keep still Shakespeare alive and keep him as one of the heroes like we have today, and go about with the language. People will say that you are mad, but doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean. It is because because of the very simple reason that we do not have the same group of interested standard literature students. But if you are imitating some 30 or 40 years before in an English classroom, you will be getting clapped for that. Okay, just for imitating what, like what is that? Characters, or even like, so you take Go to the West Wind and like it's a poem, and just sit and look at the wind. Oh well, west wind, thou breath of atoms being, thou whose unseen presence leaves dead are driven like ghosts from an enchanted flea. I just memorize it and recite it, just like that of Shelley, right? And I go to, okay, fine. Then I go to Keats, okay, or to Nightingale. What is that? Then I think about, like, sitting under the tree, thinking about Nightingale and how it is singing. Okay, my heart leaves, and drowsy numbness pains my sense, though hemlock I have taken, or emptied some tallow to the dryness, 1 minute pass, with the water sun. So almost I go like dreaming and drowsily following the bird, just by imitating his words. And then, instead of Nightingale, you think of a peacock, and you write, sitting here and looking at the peacock in the garden. Right? Simple. Start with one line. Start two. Not only this. Okay. Go and act out a movie, and then you go and act out a drama, and just think about that particular part and play it, and just think that what if we change this plot into this one? How we substitute in the place of this character somebody in our locality, or someone with the characters of our local hero, and that is called trying to, and from there you will keep on finding things. You will be innovative, presenting to the world the way it is supposed to be presented, and you have to find your strength in any, not only poem, okay, a short story, a long story, word narration, or a small plot. You know what happened? One fellow went there, and he goes and knocks the door, and he expected a woman to come out, but for his surprise, something else was there. So that kind of creation of plot, narration, at the small level, okay? And then even if it is not, so you can even take camera, video, go capture something, describe it, make it in a YouTube, okay? You can share it, like you see a wonderful bird and you want to describe it. If you are not a poet, if you do not have the ability of the poet with words, if you have a camera lens, make use of it and get the support from your words and describe something and present to people. Find your interest, find your spirit, and this way, by doing all these things, you will use language in the right way it is supposed to be used. With regard to your pronunciation, You will not have any difficulty at all because you will be listening, you will be writing, and people will be replying to you and recommending you things, advising you things, and thereby they will revive you, refine you, and reform you. That's the kind of support that we should be getting from the society, and that is the kind of contribution that we should be also giving to the society. And this makes the classroom atmosphere must be like this, and it is important to go on with this way, right? For example, this is one of those works that I did. So basically, if you look at me, I have been teaching since 2001. So now 2021, almost 20 years of teaching experience I have. In the beginning, I was a simple literature teacher without any qualification except MA. And then for 7 years, I realized that, okay, I have done enough here. I need to go back home, and I came to Tamil Nadu, and I got opportunity only in an engineering college. Once I joined in an engineering college, I thought that, okay, I should be doing some justice to the students. So let me do my research in English language teaching, because I'm going to help them only with language. So what is the use of literature to them? Okay, then that has been a long journey from 2007 to 2018. Okay, imagine, only in engineering colleges. And I did my research on language teaching. Fine, I did. I'm supposed to do whatever I'm supposed to do as a normal teacher to the students of engineering. But deep within me, there is always something like I want to create. I need to be creative. So I just, whenever I have time, I will sit and I will write and I will express. So because of this, what happened is, though we are teachers, we are not all gifted with everything. Okay, you cannot even say that we are 100% grammatically correct. Even my professors make mistakes. My professors, and even today my faculty members, all language, when it comes to language, it's not our language, right? It's possible to make mistakes and to correct mistakes. Sometimes even we are not aware of what kind of mistake that we are doing, and sometimes we have to question if those mistakes are actually mistakes also. But one thing is certain, when it comes to creating in the form of language, you will find that it is like working in the highest order. Okay, here. So when you get into that creative mode, you will move away from all these surface level language corrections, proofreadings, and you will get to know the language better, use of the language better, and your language will be completely different from the language of normal human beings, like how people in the world speak. When you speak, you will show them that the vocabulary that you choose, the tune that you have, and the ideas that you try to convey are completely different from the people who learn from the classrooms, like sentence create, like dialogues writing, or simple comprehensions in their workbook, right? So this is what I would like. This is what I wrote on World Poetry Day. Just like why this is also, it also carries the information about why poetry is very, very essential, and what is poetry. Not only poetry, for that example, any kind of creativity, right? It is in the sound of an infant's spotless soul that surmounts numb human senses. So it is with a boy. It is in the cloud, it is in the longing of a lover, it is with the father, it is with the mother's kiss, it is with the father's care, it is in the seasonal change, it is in angry or our expressions, in distress or happiness. Everything we have, that expression that we have, that feeling, what we have is true poetry, and not so. Here is where I just wanted to tell you what I call as true. Okay, in pangs of pain and surprises strange, in success as much as in distress, or what I call as true poetry, not text but a lifelong story. He that is alive is also poetic indeed. Every human being who is alive is poetic. True source of learning, if at all he had. So poetic is the true source of learning. That spirit, that creativity, that is all that. Okay, that is the source of real learning. Only if we could identify that source, we could call it as learning at all. Right? So this is one I wrote, and then, okay, just because these are all few things. Okay, some of my own works I have written. So I have done papers on the side, but I have written more than 30 or 35 short poems. Okay, but as I told you, I did not keep all those things in my resume because the world may not appreciate our world. I mean, I may have to find a medium. I have to go and publish it. But because this is not something expected. But I tell you, this is the real valuable possession. Okay, create poets and forget about teaching language. Create poetic spirit and other things. It will take care by itself. Okay, so now even you literature students, think of becoming creative writers, think of becoming dramatists, think of contributing, think of contributing in the articles. When you start doing these things, automatically your language will go. Learning, corrections will all happen on the way. And with the spirit, you will be happy to share with the world something what you want to share, than to share with something which will give you few marks. Okay, this atmosphere, like in our department, we have one YouTube channel run by the department, run by the students. They make things and they do things, okay, for themselves. And ask them to wait for 10 minutes. Just inform them. So this is, in this way, we will be able to foster the atmosphere conducive. Creativity will provide. Best language teaching and learning atmosphere will provide. Most importantly, students will be active, enthusiastic, and the love to contribute will take them to a long distance. And I believe, so as I told you, in our department we have YouTube channel, we have Campus Poet Society, we, of course, Campus Poet Society, everyone who wants to contribute will contribute. And we have, I can even share with you that for our Independence Day, we had around 60 entries written on true freedom. And that way, like in YouTube, the students will take a particular concept and they will give their views and they will record it as a video and we publish it in our channel. So they do all these creative assignments, okay? And we need to, it's not only they, and we need to also keep, where, according to me, best classroom is the classroom where the teacher speaks less and students speak more, but not among themselves. Just kidding. So the best classroom, best teacher is someone who gives chance and opportunity to a student, make him perform on the platform, goes back, sits at the back, and appreciates him and marvels him and encourages them. So it means what? Classrooms should be places of creation, places of activity, places of thought sharing, idea sharing, presentations, more than simple places. They should not be simple place where you get to know about when Shakespeare was born, or when Milton was born, when he became blind, and when you just learn about those things and write it and get marks for that. Don't ask me the whole world is like that, sir. Why do we think different? No, the world will not want you to be smarter than it. It will also make you always ensure that you are smarter in the way they think you need to be smarter. Okay? And if I have to explain more about the post-colonial world, right, late capitalism, then I may have to engage you for another 1 hour. So I believe that I have given. So these are the things that I wanted to give to you, and I believe that I have given you an overall idea of what we are doing, what we must be doing. So as I told you, I have more than 20 or 23 poems, and I have written a drama also, and I have written a drama also, and I have written a book also. I mean, books two, three I have, but I have not mentioned any of those things because I do not know whether I even feel that whether people are interested. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't make you something. That is for the world. But all those things that are there are supported by that creativity and creative attitude that we have and the spirit that we have. That actually contributes a lot for in to perform at the other level also. So with these few words, I believe I have given you the importance of being creative, steps of being important first, what is being creative and how each individual can be creative, what are the avenues there to be creative within the classroom, and how could you start and how could you develop, and later on how you will be able to be allow yourself to be appreciated or corrected by the society, and you just go on with your skills, go from one strength, you grow from strength to strength, and once you will find that you are double capable in communication than anybody else, right? So target for the best. Okay, target. Right, gentlemen. So that is what I would like to tell you. I believe I have given my views. Now if you have any doubt, you may please ask.
Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable insights on literary and artistic creation. So, with that, we will go ahead and take some time for questions. Participants, you can post your questions on the chat box. Dear participant, you will receive a survey on the webinar, and we should appreciate if you would complete that and provide your feedback. After that, you will receive your certificate. Now, I would like to call Mrs. Jairani to deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. And before that, I would just tell you, dear friends, just carry on. Whatever I have spoken to you is from my experience, and I want you to take positively and start thinking that you are capable of being one. You have ideas to share to the world, and start first pretending like a poet, then act like a poet, then you will be a poet or a dramatist or a creative writer one day, and you need not worry about language. That is only a simple thing that will come off on the way, along the way, or on the way. You will find it. Thank you so much. Jarani ma'am, you can go ahead.
Great morning to everyone. All is blessings on this day for a successful webinar. I submit my great words of gratitude to respected Associate Professor and Head of the Department of English, National College, Tiruchirappalli. Thank you, sir, for spending your precious time with us amidst your busiest schedule. I thank our management, our chairman, Tirumati Chennamal Ramasamy, our vice chairman, Thiru K.R. Krishnamurthy, sir, our correspondent, Thiru K.R. Arunachalam, sir, for permitting to conduct this webinar. Thanks to our respected principal, sir, Dr. Mathivannan, sir, who is always a constant support. National webinar. I would like to thank the HOD of English Department, Mr. Sadhu Sundar Singh, sir, for his guidance, and all my colleagues, Mr. M. Arjun, Miss A. Hema, Mrs. M. Tamarai Selvi, Miss S. Nandini, Miss R.G. Mini, for their kind cooperation. I sincerely thank all the participants from our college and various other educational institutions for your great support. My gratitude to all the HODs and faculty members of our college. The unstinted support of the staff members of Computer Science Department, especially HOD Sir, Mr. Saravanan, Dr. Benjamin Sir, and Lab Assistant, Mr. Mariselvan Sir, who deserves to my great gratitude for their moral and technical support for making this webinar a great success. Once again, I thank one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, one and all, for your valuable participation in the National Level webinar. Thank you.
Dear students, you can fill in the feedback form. You will receive the certificate and then leave the webinar.